the way how we got here, it's something to be talked about. So whatever that is, if you need my pancake recipe, whatever, I don't know, but we're here.
We're here. Okay, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sisternomics. Today on the show, y'all, she's one of the few people who can lovingly coax me out of my comfort zone and make me go and put on makeup and put on clothes on the very day I just don't want to. But here I am, and it's all because of her. She's Keana Ingram. She is an Overflow certified coach. I feel like you're just one of those people I can talk to about anything from womanhood to motherhood to mentoring to coaching and all the things. Welcome to Sisternomics.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with my coach, my amazing coach and friend and sister.
Let's go back to the day we met. I remember it vividly. I think you were sitting in the front row, at least one of the first 3 rows at the women's conference. And you were sitting there with this look on your face like, I got better things to do. And I was like, she gonna be a tough crowd. I can tell. But here we are all these years later. What is it? Probably 10 or 12 years later. And we're together. You're an Overflow coach. You're like my lead co-facilitator. You stand shoulder to shoulder with me as we train other coaches. What a journey this has been.
Yeah, it has been a journey, an unexpected journey. Going back to when we first met, I was forced to come to that women's conference. I was at the time working for a company who wanted to like bridge and bring women together. And I didn't really care for my coworkers. And so at the time, the leader, she was like, we should go to this one conference. And I'm like, I don't like y'all like that. Like, let's keep this in-house at the job. Like, we are not doing field trips. Like, what? So I had that disposition. And at the time, I was going through some personal things at home and I was just not wanting to be bothered. But I walked into your conference and I saw the title of it because, of course, our leader, she had sent us the information ahead of time. And I was like, I'm not looking at all of this. I'm not going to any of these breakout sessions. I don't have any interest in this at all. So I got there and I saw the title. It was Bold, Fearless, and Fabulous. And at the time, I was the opposite of all 3 of those things. And I was just like, you know what? One day I want to feel like this. I said, let me go in here. And I sat there and I was taking it all in word for word. And even to this day, remember some of those words that they said. And one of them that always sticks out when we talked about this is making money in my sleep. And at the time, I was not an entrepreneur. I was not an entrepreneur, but it was just the energy that was in the room. You spoke into my life, but you were speaking to so many people, but I felt like I was the only person there. I needed to hear that because I was in a dark place. And I was like, wow. I'm telling you, my disposition was so nasty going into South Suburban College that day. It was so nasty because of where I was in my life.
Yeah.
But then when I got there, the light bulb just turned on. And from that time, I've not been able to turn it off. Like it really took me into an avenue that I didn't know that was there for me. So yeah, that day is special.
Game changer, special for me too. And here we are all these years later, working side by side, doing this work. And I'm just so excited about what we're creating, what we're building. And so we were equally a part of each other's destiny. So I'm just so glad that we both showed up that day. You just never know who you are going to encounter when you just make a decision to show up. Like even today, I told you 2 hours ago, I was like, I'm not feeling it today because my whole look is giving too much shenanigans over the weekend. And and you talk me into it, and who knows who we're going to reach with this conversation. So it's show up. So I think that's the first takeaway y'all can get from this episode. But the other thing that we came here to talk about is the topic of purpose. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about this is because lately, and really throughout my entire coaching practice, I hear so many women at this big age, 40s, 50s, sometimes even older. I keep hearing so many of them say, I can't seem to connect to my purpose. And so I wanted to talk to you about that today and just ask you what comes up for you when you hear that word purpose, and do you feel like you've tapped into yours?
It's so funny. Just like I shared a couple minutes before our call, I read something or I'd heard something within the last like maybe 3 days about purpose. And I can't remember what it was, but I took away that as long as we are here, we have a purpose. And there's so much energy about I gotta find it, I gotta find it, I gotta find it. Well, I thought I found my purpose like years ago when I went through a divorce. And I'm like, you know what? I healed from it. I grew a lot, like internally, at my inner being, and found what sexy truly is, right? And then God blessed me with a baby. So I thought I found my purpose. And I thought me finding my sexy and going back teaching and sharing was my purpose. But oh my gosh,
Mm.
8, 9 years later,
Mhm.
God blessed me with a baby, and that's purpose. And God is a seasonal God, right? And when we first started our work together, you introduced me to divine alignment. I did not know what that was. It took me to a whole nother level about divine alignment. And that's just, for the sake of time, is when you are aligning yourself up with God. And that's purpose in itself, and that purpose can go from one thing to another when you in divine alignment.
Right.
That's what I walked away from. Like, as long as you're like walking with God and you're operating in divine alignment, you're allowing that to lead your life, your purpose is going to evolve because you evolving.
The divine alignment piece, I think, is amazing. But at the
Mhm.
same time, what do you say to the sister out there that's just like, dang, I'm working this job. Okay, granted, it's paying my bills, but I'm getting up and I'm going there and I'm not feeling it. I'm not happy. I don't have joy. There has to be more to life than this.
Making the choice and decision to not think about or care about what other people think about you, and doing what it is that comes natural for you. I would say start there. Start what comes natural for you that you can do all day long in your sleep, mastering and owning that, whatever that is, because it'll start the journey of your purpose. And once you do that, you are just now allowing God to use you. And no matter what, it's almost like, oh, once you do that. Because
That part.
when that, like, when you like, I don't care what nobody got to say, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. Say something to me. Who's
Yes.
gonna say something? But when you stop thinking, and when you stop trying to appease and have obligations, or feel like you obligated to do this, or, man, I wonder what my mama gonna think. I wonder what my best friend is gonna think. And it's a burning, yearning deep down inside to do this thing, even if nobody else is doing it, or even if everybody is doing it, but
Yeah.
they ain't gonna do it like you. It's 50,000 bread companies, right? But we all eat whatever brand that we like, right? Nobody can do it like you. So I think finding purpose and the beginning to the start of it is just not caring. Just divorce the opinions of others.
Hmm. You even have to sometimes not care about what your partner thinks, your spouse. And, I submit that even the women who say they don't really know what their purpose is, I think that deep down inside, they really do.
They do.
But there may be some fear around really connecting to that because maybe it doesn't look like they thought it would, or maybe it feels too big or too overwhelming or just too like, why would that be my purpose? When the light bulb went off for you,
Mhm.
what did that look like? You talked about it a little bit earlier. Let's dive a little deeper into that.
Okay, so going back to the women's conference that I met you at, I walked in begrudgingly, walked out like blessed, okay, and was like, I'm the next year, because I was on their mailing list. I'm like, I'm going. So I took the day off this time
Mm.
to go because I was invested. And so in the second year, I was sitting in Latasha West's, her workshop, and it was called, I think it was like Business by Design. And so in there, it was more like, what do you do that's natural? And it dawned on me at that point in time that I was a resource to so many people in so many different areas. And just came natural to me. I could be doing something and at the same time answering questions about whatever, like, what's the best college to go to for X, Y, and Z? I would know it. And then God was like, that's part of your purpose. So the light bulb went off for me from that. And I took just a little bit of it and then started to create my business. So from there, it grew after my divorce that I was still a resource for women to help learn about their inner beauty, their sexy, and all of that. So it never changed, but I'm telling the story of how things became even larger after I took that small bite in that workshop of, one, invested in myself to go back the second year, take the day off, pay $20 or whatever it was. And I became then an entrepreneur. I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I was just there because I wanted to be bold, fearless, and got all that from you the first year. So I was like, I'm going the second year. And it became me saying yes, but not knowing I was saying yes to my purpose. I was saying yes to what I knew and what I wanted in my spirit to feel. And that is how things became to build. Purpose is allowing yourself on purpose to continue to evolve to be what people need from you. I would just say to start with just allowing yourself to identify what comes natural for you. What comes natural? Because I can honestly say that I now go to a job and I don't feel like I'm working because I'm working in purpose.
If you are tired, run down, and just not feeling your best lately, it could be a sign that your body is just not getting the vitamins and nutrients it needs. For example, a lack of vitamin D, which is very common for Black people, by the way. That could affect your energy level, your mood, and your immunity. And let's face it, if you're out here building generational wealth, you cannot afford to be sick and tired. That's why I'm so excited to be an ambassador for Pro-Black Health. If you want to boost your immunity, they have a supplement. Want to get your greens in on a daily basis? They have a supplement. Want to sleep better at night? They have a line of supplements to meet the unique needs of African American men and women. So, if you've been slacking on taking your vitamins, or you just want to feel better in your body, check out the Pro-Black Health brand. Oh, and Sisternomics listeners get 20% off for an entire year when you use my unique link. So go to problackhealth.com/sister20. That's PROBLK health.com/sister20.
There's so much freedom in purpose. In purpose, I find that I don't have to do a lot of thinking. I don't have to do a lot of doing in regard to creating. It does what it does. Purpose is purposing. But I recognize that I don't have to put it together. It just comes at ease. It just comes with ease. There isn't anything that you have to do but show up. Purpose is you showing up.
Baby, I dare you to just show up.
I dare you. I super dog dare you to just show up.
Where are you on this journey towards your purpose?
I'm in my purpose, but my purpose is like an octopus. It has several legs to it.
Oh, that's okay. That's good.
Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. I like that. So my purpose, if we're looking at like an octopus, my purpose is like resource. I wanted to be a teacher as a kid. So teaching. So that's still that body piece of it.
Yeah.
Teaching, training, like I train other leaders. I train other trainers. I manage, I coach in my work. So that's still a resource, but I'm a resource for high school kids, a resource for college students. I'm a resource for women who are transitioning, who might be transitioning from one job to another, or deciding to reinvent themselves or have their own businesses and want to restructure it. I'm still a resource, but my resource and avenues have expanded because I've allowed it to. I allow myself, my whole entire self, to be a resource. I share my story about learning how to self-care, self-love, self-worth by way through a divorce on the job. Business was my undergrad, so I'm teaching business skills to women entrepreneurs. I'm allowing myself to be used 100% in all the different areas, but I'm still a resource. So am I operating my purpose? I am. But I'm also allowing divine alignment to lead me in my purpose to go where God tells me to go.
What are your final words of wisdom as we talk about purpose?
I would say that when you're working in your purpose, the money is going to come. The money will come. And they will be begging you to take the money in various areas, from being a speaker to coach to on your job. You will be sought after when you are working in your purpose, and you will be shocked and amazed because you are amazing at what you're doing, because you're allowing yourself to be used with your gifts and skills and talents that come to you very naturally.
Yeah.
That's the final words for me.
This has been so good. I'm so glad that you talked me into this. So thank you for just your time, your wisdom, your friendship, your sisterhood, your partnership.
Well, thank you for having me. And you are amazing. I am, because of you walking in your purpose.
Someone's destiny is attached to you having the courage to step into your purpose. So with that, we'll leave right there, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sisternomics. I'm Caradine-Kitchens. I'll see you next time.
All right.
Peace.